Okay, guys, I'm going to answer a few questions that I'm getting from lots of different people about the interactive notebook. So this is my little crash course through it to answer maybe questions that people are having. So you should have access to this whole thing. You need to click on this globe and it's going to give you access to the map review packet, which you need to go and print out. Unless you want to do it digitally. Some of you I know will have that capability where you're just wanting to cut and paste words and plop them in. That's fine too. I don't care, but this is your study guide for your map quiz that you have this unit. Okay. So do what you need. If you need to print it out, let me know. If you're like, hey, I don't have any money and they won't let me print anything, ask a teacher or ask me and I will find someone to print stuff out because I will just send it to another staff. But make sure you have a copy of that. The eraser is the calendar again. Okay, it's been updated. It looks very different from our last ones because instead of me doing any lectures, you guys are just doing that stuff. Okay, I don't think they do. I didn't know if the link still worked on this one if I'd gone through, but yes. And then there's nothing really over to the side. If you want to click on here, it takes you to like a musical score playlist because that's what I like listening to when I study. Okay. So, since I can't be there, you need to follow the calendar. I'm going to post every day on Google Classroom, like, here's what you're doing today, in case some kids forget. Also, the sub has the notes about it too. The other thing, you guys have access to this Google Doc, and, well, you should hypothetically have access to the Google Doc. That's not linking. There we go. Say, I know it's on here somewhere. It's just hard to click. Where you guys should be able to write questions on here. I know some of you have already done that. I think I'm keeping up so far. Yes. So you guys are welcome to put in peer responses. Let's say I've written something over here and you're like, yeah, that still doesn't make sense. I want more info, or another student has another way of explaining it. For sure, go and interact with this document and help each other out. There's nothing on this page beyond like helpful mnemonics and kind of an overview of the period. And then here is where we have our study materials, the Google site page, which you should all have access to at this point. So use those for what they're worth. Link to the textbook, which you already have access to the folder, but that is there as well. This, I'm going to have that. You guys do it the last day as a review, but if you want to go and do it as you read the materials about Africa, South Asia, and East Asia, you can do that as well. You guys should hypothetically be done with this after today. You should have done 6.1 vocab. These are the sheets I'm getting a lot of questions about though. I have one for like notes for 6.1, notes for 6.2, all the way through 6.7. You do not have to do anything with these, okay? These are simply there when I used this last year, when I would do notes over 6.1, like I would do my lecture, which I'm recording today and you guys will have access to because I think I only have 3 lectures this unit. You guys, if you want, you can take notes from my lecture on paper. You can take them on this Google Doc or on this document in your notebook if you want to have just everything in one place. Or maybe some of you are like, I don't need to take notes while you lecture. I just want to listen. It doesn't matter to me. These pages, you don't need to do anything with them, okay? You don't need to answer reflection questions from like that last page of the AMSCO readings. You can if you want as practice, but these, nothing needs to be completed on these pages, okay? You should have read White Man's Burden. If you're like, I don't understand poetry, I can't get through it. You can go to the poem explained, but also in my PowerPoint today, I plan on explaining the White Man's Burden and this poem probably making more sense. Oops. Today, you guys are working on all of this vocab. There's so many on this one because this is just a big section. Again, you don't have to do anything with that. Your scramble for Africa, it's a very big theme of this unit. In one of the PowerPoints, that's what I focus on is the scramble for Africa. But if you should have clicked on here, it should take you to information that help you fill this out along with what you've read. This, you have to insert a text box in here to type because it's just a picture that I implemented on here. And so it says, click on the Imperialism in Africa heading and take information down for each of these, right? Put these informational pieces into these boxes as best you can. Imperialism in Asia. That's why 6.2 is such a big one. It's Asia and it's Africa, and they're just like the big overarching themes that kind of get talked about to some degree as we go along this unit. Okay, so answer these questions. It should be based on your reading. If there's pieces that you're like, nope, still not getting it, Bozak, You can look at my PowerPoints. Again, there will be lectures over this at a later date. If you're like, nope, still don't know what I'm doing, that's fine. Otherwise, Google is a great resource too, especially if you type in AP History into Google and like AP History, Meiji Restoration, AP History, Matthew Perry, AP History, Sphere of Influence. It'll take you to stuff created by either students of an AP World class or AP History teachers. So those will be helpful to you. These reflections, okay, I do want you to do this. If I didn't put it down, I will talk about it tomorrow and I'll link it on there. We are going to do these. So with a neighbor, you're going to discuss the questions. I don't care if you type. I mean, it might be helpful for processing. The reason that I'm doing this for this one, again, big unit, but also I'm not there. And so these are things that I would talk about with you as a class, but I can't. So discuss these questions and then try to fill out this chart with like, you know, a couple bullet points under each one. Heimler histories, you should be making your way through that. Okay, and then we're not on 6.3 yet, but hopefully this explains the interactive notebook a little bit better. I know some of you have had questions. I know some of you are working ahead and you're a day or two ahead. Good for you. Tomorrow, there is an activity that's not in your notebook. Not really. It's this thing right here, the resistance movements. When you click on it, it's going to take you to this museum, but the museum is super incomplete. So what you guys are going to do is I have some basic information here. It's supposed to be a digital museum, so you can go through and you can click on stuff. So you can go to the curator's office, which is just information from me. Maybe it'll work. There we go. Okay, so you're going to help me with my AP World class and collect documents, right? So none of this is done yet. It's not helpful. And you guys have access to this. But look it, there's nothing. Guess what? You're making my infographic to fill up my museum tomorrow. Okay, so I'll do stuff with this tomorrow. I'll post a little video with directions because I think it's easier if I just show you how to walk through this stuff. So yeah. That'll be your activity tomorrow that you're actually doing in class. It just depends on how quickly you make your infographic and embed it. And once you're done, then you have more work time, okay? So hopefully this is helpful. Most of you are probably getting pretty far or at least just keeping up. And if you're not, that's okay too. I know everything's really weird right now with me not being there. I know people are kind of catching colds or getting sick right now, and that's kind of impacting everyone. So just give yourself a breath and relax. It's okay. If you fall behind, there's plenty of time to get caught up. Reach out to me if you have questions, okay? Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. And I will catch up with you guys soon. Bye.